guys, this is Anthony once again with BGA's At the Table Reviews. So once again, just want to kind of give you a quick rundown of how these things work now. I'm going to try to give you a quick 5 to 10 minute review of Ethnos. That's the game we're talking about today. And there is also a second video, which is a bit longer, about 20 minutes, in which I run through what's in the box, how the game plays in a very basic level, some looks at the components and playthrough and all that. So we're going to be separating those out into 2 separate videos, so you'll be able to check out a quick review if you just want an opinion real fast, kind of like what we do on the podcast, or if you really want to see what's in the box and have that to help you make your decision, we will have that also separately. So we're going to be trying to do that for all games moving forward. Some of the really big games might make those unboxing videos or the box look through a little bit quicker. Probably won't be doing a full playthrough on things unless it's a little bit shorter, at least not right away, as we kind of get up to speed on this. But this is a cool way for you to kind of have a good sense of what we think, but also what's in the box. So anyways, enough logistics. Let's dive right in. Ethnos. This is the newest game from Cool Mini or Not. And if you look at the box, as I did initially, you probably think there's miniatures in this game. Guess what? There are no miniatures in this game. It's by Paolo Mori. It's from CMON's partnership with Spaghetti Western Games, which they've done half their games these days with those guys. And it is an area control game, set collection, drafting. It's a very interesting mix of things. Basically what you're doing every turn is you are drawing cards or playing bands of cards. Your decision on any given turn is incredibly simple. And that's why it makes it such an easy and quick game to teach. It's why people are saying it's the next gateway game. That's why it's so hot right now, is that all you have to do on your turn is pick up a card and decide if it's going to be part of a new band you have. And the bands can be either colors, of which there are, I believe, 5 or 6, or it can be one of the 6 different races that make it into your deck. And each of those races has a special ability. So when you play a band down, and a band can be as few as 1 card, as many as you want, up to 10, because that's as big as your hand can get. When you play it down, whatever card's on top, that's the leader, and you get to use their ability and place one of your tokens in the region that corresponds to that color, assuming you've played enough cards. If you already have like 3 pieces in an area and you only play 2 cards, you cannot place a piece there. You have to play at least more cards than you have pieces in the area currently, which early in the game is pretty easy. Later, you have to be a little more careful. And that's basically it. Every single round, you'll be picking up cards or playing down cards. You get to choose what you're doing with each of these cards. And the idea of the game is twofold. You need to have area control in these areas to score points. In the first round, only 1 person scores, second 2, and third 3 will for each area. The scoring is randomized based on the tiles that come out. And based on the number of players, there might be more or less areas in which to score. This second part of the scoring, though, is the bands themselves. So the size of your bands will determine how much points they're worth. 1 is worth 0 points, 2 is worth 1, 3 is worth 3, 4 is worth 6, etc., up to 15 points for 6 or more cards. That is a big, big part of the scoring. So you can get a bunch of cards out early and take some control and run some powers, but then you have no points in your bands. Or you can save up all your cards and have a lot of points in your bands, but not have any area control. You kind of have to balance the 2 out, especially early in the game. I love this game, guys. This is fantastic. And I'll give you a couple of reasons why. Mechanically speaking first, the game is so simple, and yet it's not so simple. You do have to make decisions about what band you're going to build, what color you're going to go for, what cards you're going to try to collect. There's a little bit of press your luck element in that, maybe you want to go for the 5th giant. I'm going to draw 1 more card off the deck, but it's not another giant. This card is a waste. Or that's my hand limit. Or, oh my god, we're so close to the end of the age. I really need to play these cards, but maybe they don't do anything for me if I don't get that 5th giant. All these different elements, and they're small little things, but they add so much depth around the basic core. It does what a gateway game should do best, and that is it takes 5 or 10 minutes to learn. Anybody can pick this up. Very simple. It's unobtrusive. I know some people have said some things about the artwork and the graphic design. I don't really have a problem with it, but the key is that it's unobtrusive. It's not, people aren't going to be looking at this and being like, ugh, it's not It's not Blood Rage or the others or something, Cool Mini or not related, where it's just so much art in your face. It's accessible. And then third, it's just really, really easy to scale that up and to kind of take it to the next level as a game. There is a lot of strategy under the depth here. You can play the surface level, it's very basic, or you can go deeper and really think about it. I love when games do that because it makes it easier for me to play it at home with my family and then to take it out to game night and play it with my gamer friends, and all those people enjoy it. We might get bored with it at game night eventually, but we still enjoy it. So the other cool thing about this game, variety. You have 12 different races out of the box. You're only ever going to use 6 at a time. They all have a special power. Very cool. 4 of those races have an additional board or piece or token or something, some other way to score points. Also very cool. So you can build your strategy around different things. I've played a game where I really focused on the orcs because at the end of the game, they got me 20 extra points because I filled that orc board up. And the other people around me didn't really do much with the orcs because I was collecting them all. I've played other games where I really fought over that giant token a lot. I've played other games where I ignored all those things and just tried to be everywhere all at once. Let other people kind of fight over those things. A lot of options. You get to choose kind of how the direction you go. The possibility for expansion here is like endless. It needs to be balanced, sure, but they're not so power breaking. They're not so game breaking that it would be hard to add new ones to the game. Last thing, the components. The component quality is of course good. It's Cool Mini or not. You get a kind of a small board, but it doesn't really need to be any bigger, and you kind of need to space around it as you build out your tableau. The cards are nice. They're high quality cards. The thing people complain about is the artwork. I like the artwork. It's John Howe, classic D&D artist, but it is super generic, a little washed out, fantasy paintwork. The only problem that I see here is that every single card of each race is the same. I think you kind of need that though because you are collecting sets and they need them to look the same, but it is you could probably have a little bit of tweaks in there. I'm not going to complain too much. It is cool looking. I do like it personally, but I know some people out there don't. So this is a subjective thing. Make sure you take a look at the pictures. But keep in mind too, this is not a highly thematic game. It is relatively abstract. It's a gateway Euro. You're not even fighting each other really. So it's not something where you need all that visual element to it. As a Euro player, personally, I don't really care as much about those things, but I know people do sometimes. Take a look first, watch the playthrough review, and see if you like it. The little pieces that you're stacking up are fantastic. They stack up perfectly. They work for scoring trackers. They work for stacking in the spaces. You can see easily who's got the lead without having like 50 of these little pieces all around. With miniatures, it would have been a mess. So I'm glad they went that route. They could have easily made this a miniatures game with a much bigger board. They didn't. They kept the price down. I think it's 40 instead of 60 or 80. And I really appreciate that because I think the game is much better for it. And I don't think people would have liked it as much if it was been a big miniature fest. I love how now it's going out on a limb to not use miniatures for a company like this, but that's where we're at. So good on you guys. I think it was a good design decision. Final thoughts. Ethnos is a fantastic game. It's a welcome addition to my collection. It's one I'll keep for a while because it is accessible, it is easy to teach, it has a lot of depth. I'm sure there will be expansions here, and it's just a lot of fun. Less than an hour, decent strategy, and lots of interesting decisions to be made. So for me, it's an absolute buy. If you are at all interested in any of those things, make sure you check it out. I think it's a little bit hard to find right now, but I have a feeling CMON will have it back in stock throughout the summer because of all the conventions. If you're at a convention, I know they'll have stock there. Make sure you track this one down. It is really, really good. It is well worth giving a play. All right, guys, so that's everything for this episode of BJ's At the Table Reviews. Make sure you check out the full run-through of the components and the gameplay in the separate video. And once again, appreciate you stopping by. We'll hopefully have some more of these videos up for you real soon. All right, everybody, thanks.